Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are live and alive. I am Rice.
I'm Cannoli.
And how is your post-America Day, Jim?
It's just another Sunday for me. Unfortunately, my wife had to work yesterday, so I was on kid duty solo most of the day, which, it's always good to spend time with the kiddos, but typically we go out of town. There's some relatives that throw like an annual 4th of July thing, but by the time she got home, it was already almost like dinner time. So,
but this was your 250 years. You didn't want to go to the America's Fair or something?
I'm going to be fully honest. I kind of forgot that this was 250. Oh, I'm a bad American.
Trump is going to kill you. Trump is going to kill you.
Well, time to dust off my passport.
Because I thought, did they not do something at like Levi Stadium?
I could see fireworks shows from my neighborhood. So
I guess the real question is, are you a big 4th of July guy?
That's a good question. In the realm of holidays, I suppose it's middle of the pack. But obviously, I love and appreciate our independence. But I don't know. It could be that I'm also an adult now. So,
hey, fair enough. That is a fair point.
I think it's like many holidays. It's more fun for the kiddos. Get the hot dogs and the burgers and the fireworks and the pool and whatever. I still enjoy those things and still am grateful for, being in America. But it's not quite the same.
An American.
Yeehaw. You know what? Is that how we're going to open the show from now on? You're just going to sing a little country music?
Yeah, we'll just do that. I mean, I am originally from the Texas of Canada. I don't know if you're aware.
The Texas of Canada. Now, when I hear that, I think of Alberta.
Yep, that is where I'm from.
Look at me. Whereabouts specifically?
Do you know where Calgary is?
More or less.
It's if you fly an hour east of Vancouver, right at the foothills of the Rockies. That is Calgary, Alberta. And that's where I grew up. Yeehaw, home of the Calgary Stampede. Which I think actually is going on it's starting this weekend.
Is it?
It's like this huge rodeo, that kind of happens in Calgary. It's crazy.
Right on.
Yeah.
Did you go growing up?
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun. I loved it. I had my little cowboy boots, my cowboy hat.
That's so funny. I would have not pictured you as a cowboy.
Dude, when it comes to Stampede, like I still have my cowboy hat back at home just in the off chance that if I go home during this time, I can put it on and do my little square dance.
So then you need to be wearing a cowboy hat when we record from now on. Really honor those roots.
No, only during the Stampede.
Okay.
No, I'm not Elon Musk's brother, whatever his name is, the guy that just wears the cowboy hat all the time.
The name is elusive.
Is it Errol? No, that's his dad. Whatever, doesn't matter. The lesser of the Musks.
The other Elon.
The other Elon. But so I thought it was really funny that you mentioned that your wife had to work.
Mm-hmm.
I think this dovetails perfectly into my contribution to LinkedIn Lunatics. I'm going to put this up on screen here. And I'd like you to read this. For those of you listening, Jim is going to now read the caption to this wonderful LinkedIn post.
Yep. So, Andrew Engler. Sorry, buddy, if you ever come across our podcast, we're talking about you. It says, my wife has convinced me to go into the office over the July 4th weekend. Karen always says, if you're really serious about what you're building, sacrifices must be made. And she walks the talk. In fact, she's heading off to Miami for the weekend with Giorgio, her trainer at Chelsea Piers, for a fitness boot camp. No fireworks for Karen either this July 4th. I love the hustle.
Now, you got to read the comments.
Let's see. Oh, Karen is definitely experiencing fireworks this weekend. I had a feeling it was going there. I had a feeling.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Real. Well, hold on. Real post, or is this a shit post?
I think this is real.
Is that actually? I can't tell from the profile picture. Is that him in the photo?
I can't. it does look like
it looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does look like it is him when I zoom in. So, yeah, you know, he loves the hustle. He loves the hustle.
It's a little different with my wife because she's in healthcare, so they have to take a weekend rotation once a month.
Oh, she's actually like, saving lives.
Yeah.
So it's just a little different.
A little different.
Another, one to just kind of lighten the mood before we get into serious topics this week. I found this one here. I can read this one.
Go for it.
This is David Vexler. He says, "I am a heavy AI user, probably more than it's healthy, and I'm raising my kids, toddler to teenager, to depend on it just as hard. They're on my work account, so they've got better AI than almost any other kid alive, and I push them to use it for everything. Go ahead and tell me I'm ruining them. I'll wait. Name the actual harm. .. So probably M-. The one that hits my kids and skips the ones raised AI free. Not, quote, it makes them dumber. How and how do you measure it? Nobody predicting catastrophe has ever answered this. Prove me wrong," he says. I think there are a lot of studies that actually show, and yeah, we can see here right away, someone's first comment is a paper that probably shows exactly this. It counters exactly what he's saying. Let me just pull this up here.
Gotta have security on your LinkedIn Lunatics,
Super secure, yeah. How AI is reshaping human reasoning and the rise of cognitive surrender. So I think he's wrong.
Well, didn't they just have some studies over the past month or so that Gen Z is the first generation to be dumber than their parents? And that's without AI. I mean, frankly, that's like sad. Social media and YouTube brain rot. Yep. Now, if you add AI on top of that, I don't see how that makes it better.
I think that what this guy doesn't really quite understand is, like any other muscle, your brain is that. You need to exercise it and you need to use it so that you can kind of maintain that elasticity to be able to learn and all that kind of stuff, right? Like and to be able to think, right? Like you can't, like, to offload all of your quote unquote thinking to a machine is absolutely insane, right? There's even studies that show that these things don't actually understand anything, right? Like you can ask it, for example, you can ask GPT-4o to explain the A-B rhyming sequence to you. And then your next prompt, you can ask it to please create a poem with this rhyming sequence, and it won't be able to do it. However, when you point that out that it's made a mistake, it can't do it, it'll say, "You're absolutely correct. I did make a mistake and it was wrong." And I think this is the thing. This to me is the crux and just highlights, the difference between these AIs, which are at its core just predictive word pickers, and what a human is, right? Like a human would never make that kind of mistake where like you explain a concept and then you cannot apply it, right? It's just insane. So
yeah, on the flip side, I will say I've had an idea in my head for some time now. I just haven't had the time to sit down and do it, but it will happen this summer. I bought for my kids, although frankly I think it's a cool gift for anybody. There's a book called Computer Engineering for Babies, and
nice.
It's a very simple book. It's like maybe six pages, and it's thick, and it has like arcade style buttons and lights, and it shows you the different basic circuits, like an AND gate, an OR gate, a NOT gate. Nice. So me being a CE major, I was like, this is amazing. So I figured, all right, let's see how my kids like it. Well, somewhere along the way, one of them broke it, lighting up correctly. And so I thought maybe it was a battery issue, but it doesn't seem like you can easily replace the battery. So what I was thinking, it would be a really fun experiment and idea if I took like my oldest kid and we tried to vibe code that same book, but just like as a web app so that they could click the buttons in web app form. Now that's a little different than, giving them a work account and say, here you go, kiddo. Yeah. I'll see you at dinner.
Yeah, you're not offloading your thinking to the machine, right? You're actually telling your kid like, hey, like let's build something together. and we can vibe code it together. But I'm sure you'll along the way probably walk your kid through like, oh, hey, like this is how, if then else statements work, right? Like this is how a loop works and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's, I think, obviously a huge part of learning, right? It's not just like I imagine you wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, like this is how all programs can get created. Here you go. Like, you would explain to them how code works. I think it's different.
In no world would I justify giving them AI access unadulterated. No way. No way.
It's nuts. Just doesn't make 100%.
I wonder if he even has kids.
No, exactly. I feel like he's just like a liar, and he's just like one of these AI. I don't know. People just hit with AI psychosis, I guess, because he probably asked his AI, "Oh, is this a good idea? I think this might be a good idea to talk about how like AI can raise my kids." And then AI is like, "That is a fantastic idea." Speaking of which, something else that really upset me this week. I'm gonna pull this up here, and I think that you and I are probably both equally upset by this.
Okay.
But I want to see your reaction to this. I think you probably have seen this. And for the listeners, the audio listeners, this is the announcement that PlayStation will no longer produce discs by 2028.
Oh, that. Yeah, that makes my blood boil. As someone who is a lifelong gamer at heart, collecting physical media. Now, okay, let me step back for a second. I do enjoy the convenience of digital assets for the media. So not having to take up physical space in the house for movies, for games. It's kind of nice, and it's super easy to find what you're looking to play, what you're looking to watch. And to be fair, I don't know if it's a stretch to say that we have collectively voted for this. And I don't mean like an actual election, but we continue to give money to these companies who are making these decisions, even after they've made these decisions. Will this be the one straw that breaks the camel's back? I'm actually very... because there's a huge backlash brewing to this. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, when the PlayStation 4 came to market, did they not have an ad
to say
that basically it's like, here's how to share games with your friend? I gotta find that. And then all they do is they literally hand them the physical disc.
Yes, I mean, I remember this. I remember this advertisement as well. They were kind of getting beat by Steam, maybe, or something.
Oh,
and
then there's Xbox at the time, like when Xbox, was still kind of relevant. I found it.
Yeah, I remember this, and it's like, how can this company that talked about how important it is to be able to share, like they understood the importance of sharing physical media. Yeah, I got it. I got you. Okay, so let's play this.
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
PlayStation. So
Brilliant.
These guys understood the importance of being able to share games with friends, even if you're not looking at just like sharing games, how important from like an archival perspective it is to have physical media, right? I think that going back to what you said earlier about how we kind of all voted for this, I think that's partially true. I think to me, it's the acceptance of all these live service games that has actually brought us to, I think, this point. Here's what I mean by this, right? Is because like these now And we've talked about this before in a different conversation, right? Where, now you have to have this always on connection to play these games, right? Even single player games, you have to have this always on connection. And I'm sorry, that's bullshit, right? Like, I, as the person who paid $80 for a game, or now $100 or whatever, Rockstar's actually locking content behind their, if you don't get the premium super version of the game.
Oh my God.
GTA 6. I don't know if you heard about this, but
wait,
anyway,
GTA 6, that's never coming out
next year. But yeah,
we'll hit 10,000 subscribers before GTA 6 comes out.
Yeah. You need to have these live connections to play these single player games. And it just means that there's no way to preserve games anymore, right? Like, it's crazy to me to think that in 10 years, I can't turn my PlayStation 5 on to play whatever it is that I had bought and want to play, because it has to have this live connection to this server, this mythical server that they have somewhere. And, what's hilarious is, like, in 2026, I can still pull out my PlayStation 1 and, with the right adapter, I can plug it into an HDMI port, and I can play my fucking PlayStation games. I can play my Nintendo games. I can play my Super Nintendo games if I wanted to, right? I can play all these games, right, that were mine. I paid for them. Well, I mean, my mom paid for them, but like we paid for these games, right? Like, what do we?
I hit this the other day. Somewhere along the way, canceled my Xbox Live. Now I can't play half the games in my library until I resubscribe.
Reactivate.
Yeah.
This is just unbelievable, right? Like, this is, like, to me, this is rent extraction kind of. This is the final form, I guess, of rent extraction, right? Basically, of like, we're going to try and get every single dollar, every single cent out of our players as possible. And I mean, to be frank, right? Like, Steam's also not no innocent bystander here either. They have also deactivated games on their platform that you have paid for, right? Like, and this is the problem, I think, with this, right? Like, to me, it's like, hey, if I bought the medium, if I bought the game, I should be able to play this whenever I want, right? Even like 10, 20, 30 years down the road, if I want to play this classic game, right, at that point, like, I should be able to boot it up in my old folks' home, like, that's where I'll probably be at that point, and I should be able to play this damn game, right?
Yeah. And I'm kicking myself because when Microsoft started rolling out, buying digital games, I actually was super on board with it. I lived in an apartment at the time. I had limited physical space. I wasn't a huge, like, I have to have this box art or whatever. Unlike, say, maybe your classics, like old school Nintendo and whatnot. So I was totally cool going down to GameStop, selling whatever, convert and going digital. Some of those games I wish I could get back for that very reason. I'm very grateful that I have allegedly a collection of ROMs somewhere on a computer, somewhere that I may or may not own. I have to hope that collectively there will be people out there that try to fight back against this from some of these companies. Open source solutions. You know what this is actually? We talk about a K-shaped economy, for example. I feel like that K-shape is taking hold in even areas like video games, because it's going to essentially make gaming a rich people thing only.
Yeah, 100%. This is perfect. This dovetails into Grand Theft Auto 6 perfectly. So you can get the standard game for $80. And actually, I have actually some things to say about the price of these games as well in a second here. But so you can get the standard game for $80, or you can get the super edition for $100. If you don't get the super edition for $100, there are shops within the game that won't let you in. So it's literally gating you on being able to enter a shop to buy customizations for your character. Like, this is like absolute garbage. Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Like, I cannot. It's so crazy to me. Like, it's one thing if you're like, hey, like, if you get the premium game, you can get access to these outfits faster than everybody else, right? And the people with the standard game have to work and get the points or whatever for the outfits, right? But like, to completely block access, right? It's literally like, hey, if you have money, then you're allowed to get access to this it's, to me, it's so insane. Like, it angers me so much, man. Like,
this feels like a very private equity-esque move to me. What do they like to do to maximize the profit so they can flip for the return? And shitification.
Yes.
And these are not PE-backed companies. These are, I guess, just greedy corporations that don't actually care about the consumer, or they feel like there's going to be enough people that do have money to continue to support these ideas.
Yeah, these is corporations that just want to milk every single last penny out of their audience as much as possible, right? Like, think about this for a second, right? Like, back when digital games first released, now I'm going to go talk about the pricing stuff. When digital games first released, the digital games were cheaper to purchase than the physical games. And I get that because you had, obviously, there's a cost to producing a physical good, right? But now it's the same damn price, right? Whether you buy the physical copy or not. And, you know, and you're not getting anything more for it, obviously. And here's the kicker, Jim. With GTA 6, if you buy the physical copy, you're just going to get a code in the box that allows you to download the fucking game. Like, what are we doing here? It's unbelievable.
This pattern keeps playing out all over the place too. I feel like it's not just video. I mean, I mentioned private equity earlier. Bit of a tangent, but pour one out for Tapatio, who is now a part of private equity ownership.
How does this happen?
I just thought of that. I don't know why that just reminded me of that, but I'm not, granted, it's a bit of a gringo hot sauce. You know, it's not high class stuff, but you'd find it even today. Go to a number of restaurants or heck, even fast food chains. You'll see Tapatio. How long until, 98.9% of the ingredients is like water and filler of something?
Yeah, it's just trash. They'll double the price. They'll take out anything like good in it, and they'll fill it up with just like whatever trash that the FDA will approve. But however, I think this might be like a very kind of, I think, American problem, like this food stuff, right? Because I think even at McDonald's, right, I am very aware that the chicken McNuggets here in the Netherlands, or in Europe, I guess, is actually very different from the chicken McNuggets that you guys get, because I think in the US it's some ridiculously low percentage, like 1% to 2% needs to be chicken, and the rest can just be crap, and you can call it chicken.
I love my horse meat nuggets. What are you talking about?
No, but I think it's like chicken toenails and stuff ground to a pulp, bro.
Might as well just go to a dim sum place at that point. Get it direct.
Hey! Don't hate the chicken feet, man. Don't hate the chicken feet.
No, I can't do that. Speaking like McDonald's and prices, when is the last time you've been to a McDonald's? This is kind of an interesting segue.
Time. I mean, actually no, that's a lie. I stopped going to McDonald's like by myself now. Like, I don't go on my own or anything like that. But when I go home to visit my nieces, they love McDonald's, so like we'll take them to McDonald's. I think I know where this is going, but go ahead.
Well, I know in my time in college, especially with some of my roommates, where you could get like 4 cheeseburgers, a French fry, and a Coke for like $4 or something ridiculous. I know they're probably yelling through the screen at me at what exactly the logistics of the menu order is, but it was something to that effect, something ridiculously cheap. If you were to get that same order today at McDonald's, at least here in California, probably countrywide, you're pushing $20 at least. I can go to my local burger place for half the price and get something that is much better quality.
It's like a real patty,
a real hamburger. So and they've gone all in too on automation and AI.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's some McDonald's locations that
don't have.
They experimented with 0 employees, and they had like the AI taking orders at the drive-through, and it repeatedly messed up. And fast food used to be something, again, like video games that was just accessible to most people.
The masses.
It was not considered expensive, looked back fondly from a nostalgic lens.
And it was like a fun thing to do, right? Like to go to McDonald's, and you could get when you were a kid, you get the little toy, right? And they had the play places and that kind of stuff with the slides and all that.
Play places. They're getting rid of those too.
Yeah.
They already have. Now I did go to one at a Chick-fil-A. I was like stepping through a time portal. It was cool. But there's this systematic elimination of all of these different aspects of our lives that we grew up with, that unless you have money, and now with AI coming into the picture, it's makes you stop and think, if you have any sense. Maybe that LinkedIn Lunatics poster should hand his kids the account and say, go create some workarounds for some of these problems.
For some of this BS that we're experiencing in the world now.
And then he would have the last laugh.
I mean, bring it back to the PlayStation thing, right? I will be the first to say that I will not be buying a PS6 if this is the case. And this isn't like me being whatever, right? Like I have every single PlayStation. I have the PlayStation 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5. I'm a fan, right? Like I like the games that I get to play on PlayStation, and you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. They also survived the kind of the test of time a little bit here. I will not buy a PS6 if they completely get rid of games on disc, because like I don't know, I just think it's such a kick in the dick to your fans, to the people that supported you, to do this sort of thing, right? Basically, like their excuse is now like, no, you don't actually buy the game, you are buying a license to the game, so we can just take it away whenever we want.
Yeah, insane. Yeah, maybe there will be enough backlash. I don't know. That's a big decision for a company to make like that, because essentially that means they have to shut down manufacturing. And
well, they also
once they do that, I don't know how easily they can flip that back on,
like, kick it back up.
No,
well, and they also waited till Rockstar announced that GTA 6 would not be like, you wouldn't get a disc, right? They waited till after that to announce then like, oh, we are now actually going to stop, you know, putting games on physical discs. So,
yeah,
you know, I think they were just kind of waiting for that to happen.
You know, fun little tangent on physical assets and tangible things. We almost had a little lemonade stand this 4th of July weekend with the kiddos.
You could have made some money. That's
potentially
been really American.
I know, right? It didn't end up happening for other reasons, but we were talking to the neighbor, but their kids too. And
okay.
You know, this is how you know this dystopian nightmare is seeping into everything. We started talking about, do people carry cash like anymore? We're talking like small change, dollar bills. Do you? Mm-hmm. You know that sometimes I'm in San Francisco walking around. If there's homeless people that you'll inevitably walk by, depending on where in the city you are, it's kind of become a running joke where, you know, they ask for change and you say, sorry, cashless society. And it's kind of true, because I don't often carry cash most of the time. Only if I know I'm going somewhere where I need cash, then I'll pull it out.
I usually have like $50 because you never know.
Smart. I probably should.
Yeah.
But you're probably got like 20s?
I got like 50? Usually it's like a variety of, you know, like 10, 20, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay, well, do you think your average lemonade stand is going to be, at least in the beginning, having a change on hand?
In this economy,
or for, especially as more and more people are just using card or what have you, are we going to get to the point where we need like a Venmo or a Square reader at a lemonade stand?
Or I guess Cash App.
But then didn't they pass laws, especially around Venmo, where if it's something like over $600, it gets reported to the IRS?
Yeah, but are you making $600 on a lemonade stand?
I mean, I could see it in certain parts of the country, you know, somewhere really. Well, that also begs the other question, right? It used to be like, oh, here's a cup of lemonade for 25 cents.
For like 5 cents, yeah.
Or even 5 cents.
What's your cost now on a cup of lemonade?
Well, lucky for us, we have a lemon tree in our yard that is on steroids.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, that and water, basically free.
And sugar.
Sugar is cheap. We got all the, table, chairs, what have you. So very minimal overhead operation. Few bucks for like the small little, not even like the red Dixie cup. We're talking like the little paper ones. Now here's the kicker though. Oh, yeah. In this economy with inflation, you're not charging 25 cents. You're probably charging like $1, especially for the fact that, again, the change problem.
Yeah.
Because less people are carrying, dollar bills. We don't even have, piles sitting around that are, I guess, going to become collector's items now that we don't produce pennies.
Do these actually ever become collector's coins?
I don't know. Pretty ironic though that we're talking about the physical games with PlayStation, and then I just literally had this conversation about lemonade stands.
That's funny.
Something physical, and not to mention, like, don't some of these apps also take a percentage?
They take a cut.
Makes me think of like SAS or like a Stripe where, was it like 2.9% on every transaction?
This is
So now the kids not only have to like get the electronic, cash receiver going, but they have to now account in their books for the percentage that
if I'm Stripe or whatever, I would argue to you, Jim. I would say me taking 2.5% is actually what's going to allow your kids to learn to continue to be able to do math without physical money. Because now every time they sell a cup of lemonade, they're going to have to remember that $1, 2.5 cents goes away. So now they have to always remember, like, oh, okay, well, like, so I've sold 2, so now I have 5 cents that have gone away. Because that was the other thing I was going to say, is that part of, parents letting kids set up a lemonade stand was actually also to help you with math, because you had to count, you had to figure out like, oh, okay, well, each cup is 15 cents, whatever, right? And it's just like, okay, well, this person gave me $1, so now I have to give them back 85 cents in change, right? So yeah, if I were Stripe or whatever, I'd say like, this is a good thing for your kids. And also it prepares them for a future where, these SaaS companies take a cut from every single fucking thing you do.
We're too ethical with our startups, man.
I think so. I think a little bit, but I think this is just the only way I know how to be.
Yeah. Well, the cash is one thing. And it's funny you say that, because I actually bought fake money. So fake bills, fake coins, all the denominations.
Nice.
So like my kid knows, if I give you $2 and I want it back in quarters, he can do that kind of stuff. So I don't need Stripe to teach my kids math. But on top of that,
but you have to do it online, Jim. Everything's online.
Right. Must be plugged into the matrix.
Yeah.
But you not only have that conversation lingering in the background over lemonade stands. Do you remember I shared a link with you just now, that there are certain counties out there, at least here in the States, that will shut down lemonade stands or try to.
My God.
Because you don't have a permit.
What are we doing?
This is a bit of an old one. But it keeps happening.
4 years ago. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so basically this, I think, was in Ohio, and this was like 4 years ago, where somebody reported, oh, there's a lemonade stand, better go shut it down. It's like, excuse me?
That is so gross.
Isn't it? And then there's one more that just happened like a week ago. Or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. My math. See, look at that. Maybe I need Stripe math after all. I can't count.
Yeah, you need some Stripe math, dude.
But this time in Kansas City, the passerby reported kids selling lemonade to the police. Called 911.
What are we doing?
On a lemonade stand? What are we doing?
Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Who benefits from this?
I mean, it sounded like these cops were pretty cool. I think they basically came out and supported them, and maybe even bought some lemonade.
Because they should. These monsters that call the cops on kids doing nothing wrong.
Big Lemonade is at it again.
Oh God, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. This timeline, Jim. This timeline is so fucked.
It really is. It really is.
Oh my God.
We can't even let the kids be kids. We got to take away their lemonade stands. We got to force feed them AI. We got to take away their physical video games.
Take away their physical game.
And you know what's interesting? We're both founders, and we're doing this on the side because it's something we've wanted to do. We enjoy it, but we're pretty focused on our day jobs. And you don't see a lot of conversation around this stuff, at least not that I've seen from other founders. And I get it to an extent because you're focused on building and selling. But at some point, when does that start to become more relevant than what you're doing on a given day? I feel like the pace of the news,
it's a fire hose.
Can't even keep up with it all, which if you're going to be a founder, you kind of do have to tune some of the stuff out. And so you can focus on your week, but at the same time, you're going to spend all this time building and selling. And then by the time you get to the end of your journey, you're going to wake up and the world is completely different than when you started. And it's how do you balance that where, founders are focused at least a little bit on some of this noise, if you will, and what people are focusing on with what they choose to build. And the obvious answer is everybody's chasing money, right? VCs, whoever, they have their thesis. This is where they want to go get their 100x returns. And so the founders are just going to try to think of the problems that will funnel into that. And this is why I think we really need a bootstrapped revolution. How much should founders be paying attention versus keeping your head down?
Man, I think this is a really tricky question because I think that at least for me, right? I think that if part of our mission is to try and make the world a better place, then as a founder, we would be doing society a disservice by not paying attention. And I know that this is might sound controversial or whatever, right? But, if that means that I'm not going to make billions of dollars, then so be it. Because at least I know that whatever it is that I'm doing, whatever it is I'm working on, right? That I will hopefully actually make the world a slightly better place. And I think it's just even more so just to think about the future generations and stuff, right? We can't just think about ourselves and our business and everything and how we can become extremely wealthy, right? I think the other part of this too is when there is extreme wealth, it actually becomes a huge, massive problem, right? It almost forces you to actually have to think about this at some point, right? And I think the problem that we're seeing at large is that a lot of these ultra wealthy people don't stop and think. They're not actually stopping to think about the impacts that they're having on the environment, on society, on the next generation. And, I feel like we are kind of seeing the manifestation of that, right? We can have a trillionaire, yet, however, how many people in the US are on food stamps, right? It's insane to me, at least. Maybe this is the reason why I'll never become a billionaire or whatever, right? But I'm okay with that.
But I don't even think those things have to be mutually exclusive.
No.
I think you can shoot for the stars, but still be responsible about it. Honest.
It is unbelievable.
They think they're changing the world to better humanity, but meanwhile it's ChatGPT wrapper number 572.
Yeah.
It's cool. Do what you want to do. I'm not going to pan you for building something, but be honest about its impact on society. Don't bloviate and pretend that this is something like curing cancer or something ridiculous.
The level of navel gazing, I think, is it's so crazy when it comes to a lot of these folks. And yeah, I can't participate in that.
There's a lack of shame, or you know what word I like to use? Appropriate fear.
Yeah.
And this is maybe kind of my last thoughts for this episode. Vibe coding, AI code. I don't think there's an appropriate level of fear from the people that are pushing stuff into production. And what do I mean by that? Do I mean my God, I don't know if I should do it. I don't think I should. No, not like clutching at your britches type of fear.
Yeah.
We're talking about, I deeply understand the consequences of A, what could go wrong and how we respond to it, and then B, what that means on a longer scale for reputation.
100%.
For quality. And as an example, we just pushed out a huge billing related change for our startup for self-serve billing. And I was a bit nervous pushing that button, even though it was thoroughly tested, thoroughly thought out, all the edge cases. And I'm a seasoned, Silicon Valley dev. And even I'm okay, here goes nothing. Fingers crossed. Not in a, throwing a dart at the wall and seeing what sticks kind of way. But even the great Steph Curry still gets butterflies before big games, right? There needs to be more of that with all these people pushing stuff out there.
Instead of just going yes, push, commit, push.
Yes. Appropriate fear. I think there's a lack of appropriate fear and a lack of shame. Not that you want to shame people. Balance. Everything has a balance.
Well, I think that this is probably a good place to end it for today. I, as always, Jim, thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. And for those of you guys, watching on YouTube, please make sure you give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. That helps out a lot in the algorithm. And if you're listening on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, share an episode with your friends or family. That also helps us a lot. And yeah, thanks a lot.
A little something positive or entertaining to end on. We got soundboards. So this podcast, we'll try to keep it on the rails moving forward, but I'm pretty excited for that.
Awesome. Well, I'll talk to you later, Jim.
All right, Rennie.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.